Okay, a number of you have been asking about this type of problem where we want to solve graphically. There are a couple ways we can do it, but I'm going to show you kind of my favorite method. I think it's probably the easiest. And that is we're going to graph this left-hand side as y1 and the right-hand side as y2. Then we're going to intersect our two curves and figure out which x will give us the same y value. All right, so here we go. Y equals 4x plus 1. So we're going to get a line there. And then on the other side, we have a 2x squared, so we'll get a parabola from that curve. I'm going to go ahead and look at the standard window. We'll adjust as needed. There's my line. And there's my parabola. And as I watched it graph, I could see it cut the line once down here and then it runs into it again up here. Since that's where the area of interest is, I'm going to get rid of some of these negative y values and move the screen up a little by adjusting my window. So my y minimum maybe -5, and we'll push it up to +15 just to get a better view of those points where they cross. Okay, there we go. So now I can clearly see down here close to the origin and then up here in the upper right quadrant. So the way I find the intersection point, I'm again looking for an x where the y values are the same. So second, trace to get to the calculate menu, and we're going to choose intersect. Okay, so the first thing it's asking me is what is my first curve, and if I move the cursor, I can see it is blinking on the line. It verifies it up in the upper corner. I hit enter anywhere. Then I look, and that's my second curve, the parabola. Again, it gives me the equation up in the corner, and I hit enter somewhere. Now here's where I have to be careful. I want to guess, and I want to be close to where they are actually intersecting, so about right there, and hit enter. Now it tells me that my intersection point here is -0.2247, so we'll call that -0.225. So if I go up here and say x is equal to -0.225, and I put a comma because we know there is a second intersection point. So to find that, we're going to go through these steps again, but we'll change where we guess. All right, so here we go. Second, trace to get my calculate menu. Go down to number 5 or enter number 5. First curve, it's still the line, hit enter. And second curve, still the parabola, hit enter. And then for the guess, this time make sure you get the blinking cursor up to the upper right there where it is crossing up at the top. And this time it tells me x is equal to 2.225, let's call that. So, oops, go back to my screen here, 2.225. So now I have two x's that will give me the same y. Of course, they're rounded, so if I check this, it's not going to be a perfect check, but it'll be close. So let's try that. We'll do one of them, if I can ever get out of that. There we go. Okay, so 4 times, and then we'll do -0.225 plus 1. So that's the y value we get on the left. And on the right-hand side, 2, and then times -0.225 squared. Again, we rounded, so it's off just slightly, but we can tell they are about in the same spot. So that's how you solve these graphically.